what do you think has allowed you to keep the joyful adolescence part in your life? Because I would argue, as I continue to go down my journey of life professionally and personally, I wonder and I think a lot about, why am I happier than most people? And it weighs on me in a great way. One, it keeps me grateful on a 24/7, 365, even when I am dealing with challenges. Last week was a challenging week for me personally and professionally, and yet I'm just still like genuinely happy. And so I think about it a lot because I'm also a person who has a large audience now, and I'm a good communicator. And much like I have spent the last 15 years enabling people to find angles in business and marketing mentally, but I do find my ability to hold on to my youth, me being childish,
yes,
as a good thing, as a strength.
Yes.
My never fully converting to full-fledged adulthood and holding on to 2 to 30%. I don't know if I've done the work yet to realize what the number is between the 2 and 30% that I have in me, but I can tell you whether it's 2, let's say it's 2 or 3%. I have a very funny feeling that 2 or 3% in my mix right now has a huge impact on my joy and my peace of mind, and honestly, my professional success. So I'm jumping in here a little bit just to bring macro value to, because I know this can impact, regardless if people are listening right now or into collectibles, IPs, entrepreneurship, this can help everyone who's listening. Do you have a sense of why you've been able to hold on to this youthful? When I hear a man has a career, and decides to take months to build a conference table out of Legos, that's a level of youthfulness that I don't even possess. And I know you a little bit now because we're doing business together with BeFriends and your vending machine business. And I find you to be really likable. I really like you. And I feel like this has something to do with it. And I'm curious if you've consciously held on to it, subconsciously, or was it subconscious and then it became conscious and you've doubled down on it? Break this down, because I think we can change a person's life right now.
Passion. You look at it directly at passion. What do you do on your off time? What do you do that you love? Do you love sneakers? Do you love building? Do you love helping people? Do you love playing? Do you like changing people's lives? Do you like coaching? Whatever your passion is, whatever you spend your off time, the time that is most valuable. We all have the 24 hours in a day. But what do you spend when you have the most valuable resource at your fingertips? Where do you spend it? Is it social media? That's fine. Is it playing with toys? Great. Building Lego?
Social media, what are you consuming? Like, people are like, you're talking about, my first book was, literally this little book right there is literally Cash In on Your Passion. So you can imagine, I'm excited and surprised by your answer. Like, I don't think people think you can make money in the thing you like. I think if people who like to thrift in Brooklyn and San Francisco and all these, Austin, on the weekends, realized that they could make $250,000 a year in profit on thrifting full time, literally waking up at 7 a.m. on Monday, having breakfast and being ecstatic instead of going to the office to go to 16 Salvation Armies and 13 other thrift stores, and then can't wait for Friday because that's estate sales, and can't wait for Saturday because that's garage sales. I don't think that person realizes that if they didn't buy just for themselves what they want to wear to be cool, that they could buy the other 87 t-shirts that are at the thrift store that they're buying for $3 or $7 and can sell for $29 on all these platforms, right? Ari or eBay or things of that nature. I don't think the thrifter right now listening thinks, or the person that's just fully upset. I just watched a Ray Romano movie on Amazon, which was really good, by the way, something about Queens. And in the movie, he plays a part of a dad who's got this kid, Sticks, this basketball kid. But in it, the dad is clearly obsessed with Rocky. Like, he just references Rocky the movie. There's a scene in the movie where he puts in a DVD, and he takes out Rocky 2. And as we're sitting here, I'm like, the person that's fully immersed in Rocky, or look at Barbie right now. Barbie's back in a real way. And if you were obsessed with Barbie 3-4 years ago, if you had started a meaningful podcast, an Instagram account, a TikTok, there's a percentage chance that the Barbie movie company would have Mattel and Barbie would have reached out to you in these last 6 months or 12 months and paid you $50,000 for a sponsorship if you were the leading? Obviously, you have to be good at this, everyone who's listening. But I don't think the person that is a lawyer making $319 or the person that's a retail store manager making $87 thinks they can make that same number about Barbie, and I know they can.
What I like to look at is, and I've met a lot of people who make a lot of money who are miserable at their jobs, but they go out every weekend and they're boating with their friends, or they're going out every weekend and they're doing wine tastings. And I'm like, why don't you do boating? Why don't you do wine tasting?
Right, because the world believes that you got to eat shit Monday through Friday to then enjoy the weekend. And by the way, this gets into another reason that school fucks me up so heavily, because I think it's being taught subconsciously there from childhood. I couldn't agree with you more. The thought of eating shit Monday through Friday to be able to enjoy Saturday and Sunday. This is why people are like, we need 4-day work weeks, because subconsciously people are like, fuck man, between kids and responsibilities and laundry and other shit, I can't even enjoy my 2 fucking days that I barely get. And like the thought of and by the way, Scott, I lived this life from K through 12 and even further into college. I understand what it feels like to like look forward to the weekend or to vacations or hoping it snows or hoping I get sick. I spent 10 years of my life hoping I would get sick because it meant that I could miss school. That's how much I didn't want it. The thought of doing that from 22 years old to 70 is insane to me.
Miserable. It's miserable. It's funny. For me, I like Mondays. I actually look forward to Monday. Monday for me is exciting because I'm raring to go. Everybody got to relax on Sunday. I let them have their time. But man, Monday, yeah. I can get a hold of it. I can get going. I can figure out what's going on in my world. Mondays are great. It's a start of a week. It's a restart. It's a rekindling of what I'm trying to do. So for me, it's about passion. It's about authenticity. It's finding what you spend your time on and monetarily make that part of your life.
And by the way, unlike if we were doing this in 1965, and we were at a conference, not on the internet, talking about this, today that's practical, meaning everyone's listening right now like, all right, you two fucking fantasy land guys, like, fuck you, I have a mortgage, I have children, I have debt. My big point is, in 1967, you're right. Like, what do? You get home at 7, but in 2023, you get home at 7, and you can either go to the bar, join a softball team, watch Netflix, decompress and try to enjoy some part of your day because you just went 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 hours. Or you can say, fuck, I got to get out of this. And if I do my podcast or my channel or my side hustle on 8 p.m. after I do a little family time to 10 p.m., instead of playing video games or pool or darts or watching TV, those 2-3 hours Monday through Friday can add up to 10 hours in a week. You do that for a year or two, you might be able to build the thing at night that gets you off the drug that you don't get during the day.
Yes. And speaking of family time, the idea is, how do you incorporate your family into what you do? And for many years, I've got 2 daughters, 10 and 5, and they are my world. And I love to try to incorporate different things into what I do with what
Well, you're fortunate. You sell mini toys and it's cool to them. As you can imagine, if somebody's listening and they do concrete production, I'm not sure that 7-year-old Johnny's going to love that. But to your point, if more people went into their passion in business, it is more likely that going thrifting or supporting the podcast on the Muppets. Like literally, I know today if someone is the most educated and most passionate listening right now with the Muppets, I'm talking Kermit the fucking Frog, that if they become a content producer at scale and do it 2 hours every night, that a year from now, they could be flabbergasted on the opportunities that come to them. And by the way, everybody who's listening, why do I know this? This isn't hypothesis for me. I've been talking about this for 15 years. I have the unlimited inbox email receipts from people, unlimited, hundreds and hundreds, and now thousands and thousands of people who are just like who's listening right now saying, this isn't real. Some people are, Scott, do you know some people are listening right now in their car or walking their dog or exercising and are even frustrated by us saying, do you realize what's going on in the world? There's a recession, there's a this, but this conversation needs to be had because it's true.